facing pressure. He's in trouble. He's spun around.
And he's going to fight out of it. Still fights out of it. Now throws it deep downfield. Wide open Tyree, who makes the catch.
And a leaping catch is made down at the 25. What a play.
39 seconds to go. Giants down by 4. Mannings takes the snap, looks left, lobs it left. First is wide open. Touchdown Giants in the left corner of the end zone. And the Giants, with the most improbable win in recent memory, have won Super Bowl 42.
The first of 2 Super Bowl championships won by the New York Football Giants with Eli Manning as their quarterback. And we show it to you because Eli will be joining us in our studio momentarily. We have a chair set for him. He'll be here in a minute. We are Get Up. We are presented by Oral-B IO Electric Toothbrush. We'll have him for 20 minutes. So we got lots of things we can get into with Eli. And maybe we could start with his old team, the New York Giants. John Harbaugh finding his new coaching home and was introduced yesterday as the 21st head coach in the team's storied history. The 5th they've hired since Tom Coughlin's resignation. The previous 4 combined for 8 losing seasons and 1 playoff win. Harbaugh, this was an interesting moment here with the general manager, Joe Shane. The power struggle turned into a word. I'm actually taller than you are moment.
A beautiful unison.
Harbaugh was then asked about his new quarterback, Jaxson Dart. Here's what he said.
The quarterback's kind of important. You know, that's kind of a big deal. I'm excited about Jaxson Dart. I like his talent, skill set, all the things he's accomplished, but more than that, I like who he is and what he's about. To me, he's about football. I mean, this young guy loves football. He wants to talk football all the time, and that's kind of what I like doing too. So I think we're gonna have a lot of great conversations, and I can't wait to get started with him.
All right, so again, we'll have Eli in here talking about this with us in just a moment. But the press conference yesterday was an interesting one, and the excitement level seems to be dialed up to an 11.
I mean, who's got it better than Giants fans right now? Who's got it better than us? Listen, I think even though it took a while for this deal to get done, I think internally there's this feeling of finally we have stability. We have a direction. You see how comfortable that man walked up there?
Yeah.
He was it. And that's what they're sort of looking for. They're looking for a guy who's done it and who's won. I think when I talked to people in the building, one person said to me, you could tell that Harbs has instant credibility with the young guys, which is so crucial. You talked about this earlier in the first hour, that a lot of players were in there and he was addressing them point blank. Right, fellas? Right, fellas? Okay. You know, and automatically Giants fans feel at ease because the last few, not even few years, last decade, they are now, the Giants used to be the standard.
Yeah.
As somebody used to cover the Jets, you know this, the Giants used to be the standard of how you run a franchise. And now they're the same. And I think John Harbaugh establishes where they need to be.
Okay, and so they have a veteran head coach who has been there and done that, and they have a quarterback from Ole Miss. So that has been a recipe for success in the past. And that means that maybe we can see if the future looks a lot like it.
There we go. Wow. Look at this introduction.
What's up, big fella? Thank you. How are you, man? Good to see you. Welcome. Sit. You know that guy over there. You're acquainted with that fellow over there to the left. Eli with us for 20 minutes. Delighted to see you. Delighted to have you. A million places to go with you. But let's start right there with your former team and obviously the recipe. They drafted a quarterback from Ole Miss with a veteran, established coach who knew something about winning, and we just showed before you got in here, you know, the highlights of you winning those Super Bowls. What is your sense of Jaxson Dart now with John Harbaugh as his coach?
Well, I think it's a great situation, and Jaxson Dart, I think, had a great first year, and he has that ability. Obviously, he can throw the ball on time and get it out there. He has the ability to run with his feet. He can scramble and make plays, and he can extend plays in the pocket. As a defense, that's hard to defend. He can win a lot of different ways. Obviously, the number one thing, he's got to learn to be available every week, and he takes some hits, and that's just something, you know, being young and understanding, hey, these guys are big in the NFL, and the hits are a little bit bigger, and so you got to learn to when to slide, when to, you know, take the hits and do those things. But I think with, you know, bringing in Coach Harbaugh, a guy he's been successful. He's been in the league. He knows how to handle the New York media. There's going to be no situation that's new to him or too big for him, and this bringing that belief that, hey, we can win here and we can do it, and having these, you know, young players step into that role of being leaders of this team and creating a great culture. I'm excited about the future of the Giants.
I'm curious about that, the available piece, because that was a huge topic here and everywhere was, you know, all the hits that he takes and he's just trying to get extra yards and all that kind of stuff. And the idea, we were struck by how he kept saying afterwards, well, this is just the way I play.
Right.
This is the way I play. So how does someone get through to him? And we'll show some of the hits, you know, that he takes over the season. Like, I would have thought, like, someone like you know, or someone like that. Who is it that can get through to him and say, listen, this moment here, we can't be doing this stuff on the sideline? Like, who and how does that message get through?
Well, I think that comes from the head coach, and it comes from the offensive coordinator, and you have a whole off season to watch some of these clips and make adjustments. And you know, last year he wasn't worried about that. The coaches weren't worried about that necessarily. And now they say, hey, this is happening. You've played, you know, half a season. You've taken hits. You've been in the protocol. You've missed games. Like, you know, we got to find ways to slide, and you got to teach that, and you got to rep that, and you just got to come in and practice and just make sure that's a thought. And obviously you see a Josh Allen, like, he doesn't slide much, and he runs and he makes plays, and there are moments, and you want to keep that aggressiveness. You want to keep that playmaking ability and just kind of dial it down in certain situations. Hey, it's the first quarter, you got the first down, slide. Like, or hey, you're at the sideline, go out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
So there's those things, you know, those hits add up, and it's just eliminating a few of them.
One of the stories that came out over the last couple of days was that, you know, Harbaugh is sitting there in Maryland, and Tom Coughlin got on the phone with Chris Mara and said, get on your horse and go meet with him. Said, well, I don't really know him. No, go down there and go knock on his door and go have a meeting with him. To hear that Coach Coughlin is still involved in this process, a lot of Giants fans felt warm about that. What was your reaction to that story?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like Coach Coughlin, and I think that's what you want. And was accountable, and you knew you were getting the same Coach Coughlin every single day, and he treated not just the players, but everybody in the organization the same. And you weren't walking around on eggshells, but you knew you had to do your job, or Coach Coughlin was going to let you know. You're going to hear about it from him. And that's what you need. That's what you need from a veteran head coach. And I think that's what John Harbaugh will bring, was everybody, hey, we got to step it up a notch. We got to be held accountable from the players, from the people in the film room, the equipment room, the training staff, everybody held accountable to a higher standard to bring this organization back.
Let's dive into a few things around the league. Obviously, you cover the league all year long, doing the Manning cast and everything else. We have a really unique situation with the Broncos this week with Jarrett Stidham. He has not thrown a pass in the NFL since the very end of the 2023 season, and now he jumps in the AFC Championship game. So what are the keys here? How do they put him, how does Sean Payton put him in the best position to be as successful as he can be?
Well, I think it's good. He's a veteran quarterback. He started games. He's been in multiple systems. So I think he's a guy that, you know, you could probably, you know, run maybe a bigger package of offensive plays just because he's been around. And you know, first and second down won't be the problem. I think it's third down, and all of a sudden there's a rush and there's a blitz, and you got to make adjustments and calls. Those are the things where, how will he handle those situations, and will he make mistakes in those situations where you feel like you got to make a throw, or you got to get it out with the pressure, or where you miss a blitz? It's those things that you kind of worry about. But I think the fact that this Denver team has had so many fourth quarter comebacks, they have made it so difficult all season long to win games, and now it's just like, hey, here's our next challenge. And you know, that mentality, the defense knows, hey, we gotta step it up this game. We can't give up 30 points. We gotta do our part. And when everyone's challenged like that, you'll see a team that's gonna rally together, and they're going to be a tough team to beat.
Yeah, I was seeing kind of a similar thing about just from a quarterback and center exchange, like with Stidham coming in. Just explain to the audience how important situational football is, because that's really the things, like you said, first and second down, we're coming off a chart. But when it gets situational, whether it's red zone, whether you're backed up, whatever it is, talk about like the communication that has to go between the line, the running backs, everybody, you know, just from the QB perspective.
Yeah, it's just those third down calls when you got an overload blitz and the quarterback, hey, can you make those calls? It's the flow of the cadence as he's going through a cadence, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, I see something. I got to slow the cadence down, make a call. You don't get, offensive linemen jump in. That's and guys, kind of miscommunication. Oh, I thought he was going to do this. I thought I heard this call. And it's just those little things that can make the difference. And hey, a false start here that hurts a drive. It's those taking a sack on a third down instead of Bo Nix's ability to escape things and getting first down. It's a few little plays here and there, And, being backed up red zone and Bo Nix's ability to run the ball and having quarterback runs in certain situations now, hey, we got to scheme up these perfect plays and you take a few plays out of the offense that you've been successful with. So it's those things. But again, I think he'll know where to go with the ball. He'll know the game plan and should do a good job.
There's so few people who knows what it feels like to start in a high-level playoff game as a quarterback. What's different about that game for a quarterback in those situations? Because it does feel like something's changed. And it's hard for me to say because it all feels normal. It's not like the NBA where there's a series and it's obvious why it's different. It's still 1 week and it's still one game and you're either home or away, but for some reason something is different. And some players elevate in those moments and some players struggle. What's different?
Well, I think the fact that, hey, we're playing to go to a Super Bowl, and this is the biggest game you've ever played in your life for a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys have not been to a Super Bowl before, besides, Matthew Stafford. And so, you can get like this too, tense, and you can say, oh, I got to make the perfect plays. I got to do everything perfect. And it's not about doing things perfect. It's about having a great game plan. It's about trusting your training, your situations, what the coaches are telling you all week. So this, not doing anything extra, not doing anything different.
Yeah. When quarterbacks say it's just like every other game, they're lying. Yeah,
it is lying. It is lying.
It's not just like every other game.
Right. You want to do it perfect. You think every play is the most important play, and even though it is, you got to just be relaxed, let the game come to you. There's going to be some sacks. There's going to be a missed throw every once in a while, and it's just like, hey, taking a deep breath after that and just being focused on the next play. And I think it's those teams that can have that intensity, but also like have the ability to kind of go in there with a smile, with this relaxed feel, and hey, let the game come to us a little bit instead of trying to make every play possible and trying to force things to happen.
The great Eli Manning in our studio with us will explain the program that he's part of in just a couple of minutes. The other game, the NFC game, and I work with Alex Smith on Sundays, and he always says that sometimes when everyone knows that your job as the quarterback is just not to screw it up, that's the hardest thing.
Right.
The message to Sam Darnold is, our defense is so good. Our defense is so good. Just don't screw it up. And then he explains it pretty well, and you would understand it. Maybe you can explain it. As a quarterback, you got to know, I'm going to rip this thing. This is my moment. But you've got this voice in the back of your head saying, whatever you do, don't make a mistake because my defense is supposed to win this for me. That's a complicated line to walk. Can you sort of explain what that is like, and sort of that's what Darnold's fate is here this weekend?
Yeah, you know what? And to that example, I don't think Seattle has been coaching Sam Darnold that way.
Right.
They have not. He's had those games where he's turned the ball over, but they have told him, be aggressive, rip it. And you see the way he played last week. I mean, he was throwing some corner routes. He was throwing deep balls. He's aggressive. If he sees something, he's going to let it rip, because you can't be, I'm gonna look at this corner route, and if he's wide open, I'll throw it, and then it's like indecisive, and you start making bad decisions. So he's playing great football. He's played in playoff games. He's had 2 great seasons and new offenses, and it's been tough, and he's played great. And so I think they're going to let him rip. They're going to run the ball. They're going to play action, and he's figured out how to play really well these last few weeks. And you got to assume your defense is going to play great, but you don't know. I mean, LA, they know this team. They play them twice a year. They put up 40 points on them a few weeks ago at the end of the year. So, you got to assume, hey, we got to go out there. We got to score. I got to do my part. If guys are open, I'm trusted. We're going to throw plays to push it down the field. And if they're open, I'm going to rip it. If not, I'll take my check downs and just play the game.
Can I ask you about the quarterback on the other side of Matthew Stafford? He's the elder statesman of the QBs remaining. But the season started, a lot of us were worried about his back. How is he going to fare? And so far, he's had a tremendous season. I'm curious what your thoughts about Matt Stafford being in this position once again, potentially one game away from being in another Super Bowl.
I mean, he's had an MVP caliber season. He's throwing the ball as good as anybody right now, and that's never been the issue with Matthew. He's always been able to throw it as good as anybody, and he's got Puka Nacua, who's he could be the MVP really of the season. He's unbelievable, but he's got such great control of this offense and the drop back passing game, and so he's got athletes. They run the ball well. He knows where his hots are. McVay calls a great game plan, so they'll have some things schemed up against this Seattle defense, and it's all about, can they protect Matthew Stafford? Can he have enough time for some of these plays to develop? And they do a good job getting the ball out on time, but they always call some shots. They call some things to attack some of the the coverage aspects of Seattle. Can they hold up in protection?
So I do watch the Manning cast from time to time, and I got one big question. There's so many things to talk about. How come my man Jeff Saturday is always a topic on the Manning cast? Let's take a shot at my man Jeff. We got you here. Peyton's not here to speak for, but you got to speak for your brother. Why is my man Jeff always a topic on the Manning cast?
Well, when you have a center that you worked together for 11, 12 years, 13 years,
yeah.
I mean, that is a bond. I mean, they've had a lot of strong conversations. Conversations. We want to run the ball. Hey, why don't you block a little bit better? Why don't we pick up that blitz? So it's like there's a love, there's a respect, there's just a best friend and also a guy you compete with. And I know it with my boy Sean O'Hara, same deal.
Fake Jeff. That's fake Jeff.
Fake
He
Jeff.
tried to look like Jeff.
Yeah,
he looked just like Jeff. It's Jeff, man.
His hair not anymore though.
Oh, he lose the hair a little bit. Losing the hair a little bit.
All right, two pieces of business while we have Eli here. First and most importantly, you're here courtesy of Toyota because of a very exciting event that is coming up. Tell everybody what it is.
Yeah, you know what? I've been around football my entire life. I grew up playing flag football. I've played in Super Bowls, and Toyota is giving me the opportunity to do something I've never done before, and that is to be a referee. Yes?
Here we go.
And the Glow Up Classic, which is a glow-in-the-dark flag football game, a high school all-star game, female athletes from the Bay Area, Super Bowl week. I'm going to be a referee, and Kylie Kelsey's going to be my co-referee, and we'll be on the field. And I love flag football. I love everything Toyota's doing to help grow the game. They give $3 million annually towards the game, towards flag football and youth sports. That's over 300,000 kids get to play flag football because of them. And so this is about football for all, for boys, for girls, everybody getting involved in the game of football and growing the game.
Greeny, we have a ref here now, so we can settle this. The interception. Was it an interception or was it a catch?
Oh, from the game this weekend you're talking about. Yeah, the Buffalo game.
Buffalo game. Kylie and I have been meeting. We've been talking about it all week. What's a catch? What's not a catch? What's flag guarding? What's not flag guarding? We've got it down. I can't give all our secrets of what it is.
That means it was an interception.
It wasn't an interception.
That's a catch. Quarterback for it. It was an interception.
They got it right.
Catches this ball and then goes to the ground.
They got it right.
This is a terrible call.
I understand. I mean, I was watching this and I was like, this is going to be interesting because I understand the rules. Hey, you got to complete the catch. You got to complete the fall and have it the whole time. And the fact that he's on the ground, he has the ball, and then the other guy ends up with it, like he didn't complete the catch, and it's just like the way the rules said. I mean, it's whether I hate it for
let it die.
As a quarterback, I want that to be a catch, but as understanding as a ref now, that is my new profession. This is the interception.
Way to go.
All the calls are right. All the calls are right. That's what we get on the air.
Everything.
That's right. It's a good call.
And the review, he's right.
It's a good call.
Is Ed Hockley all of a sudden? Okay.